All right, we're keeping you up to date on everything going on overseas. Meanwhile, as Vladimir Putin has the world on the edge of its seats, maybe you, how did the former spy rise to power? Here's a quick history lesson on the rise and fall of Russian leaders. 1917, end of World War I. Vladimir Lenin led the Revolutionary Communist Party and took control of Russia from the last Tsar, making it the first official socialist country in the world. It would take the name of USSR in 1922. After Lenin's death, his close friend takes over in 1924, Joseph Stalin. He ruled by terror. Millions of his own people died under his brutal reign, especially if you opposed him. Stalin wanted government to control everything, which led to a devastating famine. Under Stalin, the Cold War launched after World War II. Soviets in the U.S. went from allies to enemies. Fast forward, 1953. Nikita Khrushchev takes over. He wanted to eliminate any influence of Stalin and set the course towards removing some of the government controls. But Khrushchev brought the world to the brink of nuclear war during the Cuban Missile Crisis. He was forced to resign. In 1964, his successor, Leonid Brezhnev, turned Russia more towards dictatorship and torpedoed the economy to a deep decline. In 1985, Mikhail Gorbachev was the last leader of the USSR. He jump-started economic reforms, led to the rise of privately owned businesses, free market capitalism, but it had the opposite effect, leading to the collapse of the Soviet Union. In 1992, the first president of modern Russia, Boris Yeltsin, would lead the country through the Wild West of capitalism. It had devastating consequences to the economy and well-being of its citizens. Then, out of nowhere, in 2000, trampoline to the post of president was Vladimir Putin. But he was a nobody. How did he rise to power? Putin's story begins in 1952. He was an only child, born in St. Petersburg. His parents were factory workers. Putin attended Leningrad State University and studied law. In 1975, he would become an intelligence officer for the KGB. When the Soviet Union collapsed, he retired from the intelligence agencies and returned home to work in local politics, becoming the mayor's head of external relations and first deputy mayor. But when the liberal politician lost in 1996, Putin moved his family to Moscow, quickly climbing up the ladder within President Boris Yeltsin's administration, eventually heading federal security. In 1999, he was appointed prime minister. And on New Year's Eve, Yeltsin shocked the world, announcing his resignation, handpicking Putin to be acting president. An orderly transition of power? On his first day, President Putin pardoned Yeltsin for corruption. He was officially elected a few months later. Putin so hungry for power that in 2008, when term limits forced him out of office, he wasn't leaving without securing his seat. His protege, Dmitry Medvedev, became the new president, while Putin was appointed prime minister. But in 2012, Putin was re-elected once again and intends to rule for life.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.